Hey, this is David Rich at House Barons. Today we're going to put in a ImoLaza 8-zone smart sprinkler controller. There's a big difference. We got this old Rainbird controller in here, manual switches. You set everything through these particular buttons, and so we're going to set it up. They've done a really good job design-wise. That's just a really nice cover. I think a pretty intuitive button setup. That's all this is a cover. And then there's the actual body of it. And set this up, we're going to have to go ahead and take the existing one out. And basically, all these sprinklers are pretty simple. It has a power supply. How the Rainbird sprinkler controller works is that this piece here is an individual module, and you can get up to 3 of these. When we get rid of this one, put this one on. This one has 8 terminals on it. Let's unplug that right now. And then we'll go ahead and disconnect all the connections. These are power connections up here. Take a picture of what you had. In case something goes wrong, you always have a picture of what you started with, and you can always backtrack. All right, so let's go ahead and disconnect all our wiring. These are very small terminals. All right, so there's our two orange and a green. And that's from the old power adapter, so we won't need that. We can get rid of this. And now we can disconnect the terminals. We've got red, orange, yellow, gray, green. And our COM is white. So that's just something you want to make note of. And remember, if you have more zones than 4, you're going to have more different color wire. All right. So that's easy. Those are our sprinkler wires, leave those down. We didn't have to turn the breaker off because it was just plugged in as an adapter. Once you unplug this, you're good to go. Not today, so the grass is gonna need to be watered. So those 3 holes are our drill holes, and they are going to coincide with this hole, and this hole are how this is going to get mounted. Hole number 1, hole number 2, hole number 3. All right, so it comes with a package of 3 screws, 3 wall anchors, your little own screwdriver. It was perfect for these teeny tiny screw heads right here. We'll go grab these screws. We don't need the wall anchors, because we're just going into this pegboard. So I've already got the holes on there, so we'll just go ahead. So I'm just starting them so that when I put the controller on there, they'll have a home. The old one's wrapped around terminals and this one doesn't, so I'm gonna trim these wires down, make them a little shorter. And you probably could mount this and then put them on. I just think it's easier. I can see it like this. There we go, good and tight. Red, orange goes into the 4th hole. Red, orange, yellow, gray, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in this, we'll put it in the second to last common spot, just because we've got our plug that goes in right here. Just give me a little more room. Tight, 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 and tight. All right, so now let's get the plug. When I'm trying to put everything in, I can move the controller around to where I can see it the best. So this just plugs in to our hole right there. Go. Pretty easy. Now we can go ahead and mount the controller. And if you want to mount the controller first, that's just fine and dandy. You got to pick what will work for you. Well, that's pretty simple. Oh, that looks very nice. Now we can go ahead and run this plug over to our power strip. It's lighting up. We're going to take a picture of our QR code. Hey, if you get anything out of this video, give it a like. We really appreciate it. It helps our algorithm get our video out. There we go. Okay. There's ImoLaza. We'll get the app. Install. Oh, now you got to sign in. And hit the reset. That's the reset button right there. For 5 seconds until the light flashes green. I think that's it. We do. Lights are the same. We'll scan the code. Okay. My device. Oh, set the name. Next. Oh, okay. Now we have to connect the phone to the Wi-Fi. All right, so device added successfully, and then you get the blue band. So that's all good. Add address. Okay, so it added all kinds of weather data here. I guess these are all weather stations. I'll just try this one. Ready to go outside? Yes, we are. Next. Zone number 1. This is pretty cool. They want you to take a picture of each zone. We'll hit zone number 1. Take a photo. Use photo. Apply. Apply. Misters. Next.
You did warm season grass?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
And then silty clay, just clay.
Clay.
Next. Lots of sun. Next. Flat. Next. Set the area of your zone. 20 by, I'll do 400.
There's kind of a lot going on here.
Confirm. Set next zone. Zone 2. That's fun. So it even gives you a little countdown. I did a 2-minute test run, and it's counting down. I'm at 52 seconds now, going to 2 minutes, which is kind of nice. Before I would just have to wait till they turned off, and then that's 2 minutes. And having it on your phone, that's kind of cool. That's definitely 21st century stuff as opposed to the old analog way. And today it's something like 92. It's supposed to get even hotter today. This is a good day to know that your watering is going to work. This sprinkler controller has its own app. This is where the controller just stands head and shoulders above any other manual controller. It opens up with a weather page, which accesses real-time data so that you're watering at just the right times and you're not watering at adverse times. At the bottom of the opening page, it has your water history, so it keeps tally of how much water you use. You can schedule on your app, but it has some extra features. It has a new grass scheduling feature, which if you're putting in a new lawn and you want to make sure that grass seed stays moist all the time, because of course grass seed can't get dry, you have 24 different settings at different interval amounts as well, so you can make sure that that grass stays always moist. Super nice feature. It has a typical fixed scheduling feature as well. It also has a smart schedule where it's using that real-time data to make sure that you're watering at the best and most efficient times. Have you ever driven down the road and you see sprinklers on and it's pouring down rain? This will stop that if you go ahead and enable that one feature. In the app, it also offers different cycles so you can break up your watering. So when you break it up, you water, say, a zone for a certain amount of time and then stop, and just it lets the water soak into that zone, and it jumps to a different zone while it's letting the water soak into that first zone. Again, making the most use of your water without wasting it. Smart Weather Genius is a cool feature that allows you to skip watering days if rain is in the forecast or it has recently rained. It also allows you a freeze skip. If the temperature is going to get too low, it won't water. This is super useful if you're in an area, say like Florida, where you can water year round, but every once in a while you get a freeze. This lets you skip those days. And of course, there's also a wind skip, so if it's going to be too windy, why waste your watering time, especially if you have misters? It'll skip that day if there's just going to be too much wind. There's the typical scheduling setups in the app as well. The one thing that's nice about this is the scheduling can be done right from your phone, which makes it super easy. When it's all said and done, you have a quick run test or a manual test. Typically with an old sprinkler, you would do this by just babysitting the sprinkler, just standing there and running through each zone one by one by hand. What's nice about the app is that you can do it all in your app, set it all up, and it runs effortlessly. Having everything on your phone, it just makes everything so much more convenient, and you can do so much more with all this real-time information that the app allows you to have. Pretty cool. This ImoLaza sent us a sprinkler to install and review. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate this. There are a lot of screens to go through, but a lot of that has to do with the great amount of detail you can put into your watering schedule. A lot of really cool things which really updates the ability to control your water in an immense amount of detail and get really what you want out of your sprinkler system. Overall, love it. It's really nice to have it all on your phone as opposed to having to come into the garage and fiddle with it. I'll show you on this that's really painful is when you turn this on and you're looking at the screen here, they make the writing super tiny, and that's just a hassle. Whereas if it's on your phone, everybody's used to looking at their phone. A lot of pluses with this. We have an Amazon link in the description below. If you're interested in a smart controller, check this one out. We had to swap these wires, and so we unplugged it. If you unplug your ImoLaza sprinkler controller, then what I had to do is unplug this and plug it back in and then reset my router so the two could find each other. And while it's finding it, it turns purple. And then once it finds it and everything's cool, it'll turn blue. That's how you know you're good to go. Remember, if you have to do that to reset everything, you unplug and plug this one in and then reset your router and you'd be good to go. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video.